is I know that the hospitals in the United States give a lot of items to mom and baby. So like a lot of people on those YouTube videos say, don't bring this, that, and the other because the hospital is going to give it to you. Well, here in Colombia, that's not the case. Welcome to Bible with the Barretos. My name is Barreto, and we are getting very close to having our baby girl. So right now I am just over 37 weeks pregnant, and that was our goal. So we made it to 37 weeks. We had a little bit of a scare the end of December, and I started having contractions, and so they put that goal of, we just got to get you to 37 weeks. And so we made it, and in this time, we have been packing and prepping and getting hospital bag ready and things like that. Well, about 2 weeks ago, I had my first appointment at the hospital. So we are missionaries in Colombia, South America, and things here are a little bit different than when you have a child in the States. And so when I went to that appointment, the weird thing is, so all of my appointments up till then were at like a clinic. And they've officially transferred me from the clinic visits to hospital visits. And so I actually had my first visit at the hospital where I'm going to give birth, and got to talk to doctors, got to ask them questions. And so one of the things that I asked them was, what do I need to bring to the hospital? Because I have been watching all sorts of you guys' YouTube videos, about hospital bags and what to pack and what the hospital gives you. But the thing for me is, I know that the hospitals in the United States give a lot of items to mom and baby. So like a lot of people on those YouTube videos say, don't bring this, that, and the other because the hospital is going to give it to you. Well, here in Colombia, that's not the case. The hospital won't give me anything. And when I say anything, I mean anything. And so I've been watching those videos to find out, okay, what should I take? So I had this whole hospital bag all packed up with a bunch of things that I saw on YouTube videos of moms that said, oh no, the hospital gave me this. And I was like, okay, I know my hospital's not going to give me that, so I need to pack it. And so I had this whole bag all packed ready, but I asked at the hospital just to see like if they gave another tip or trick or something else that they wanted us to have with us when we came. And what I was surprised to find out is that they have a list of about 10 things that I'm allowed to bring. Not 10 things that they recommend that I bring. No. 10 things that I am allowed to bring to the hospital when I give birth. And what they said is bring it in a grocery bag, which I don't have a grocery bag, so I'm using just a trash bag, but bring it in a grocery bag. And when you get to the hospital, you then transfer your cute little grocery bag of 10 items into a clear plastic bag, and that is what you get to take with you. And so when I got back to my husband, I was like, so literally everything I have packed that everyone recommends that I have, or that the United States would give us during a birth, I'm now not allowed to take. And so I'm repacking my bag today, and I wanted to show you guys because I find it comically hilarious, and I'm trying not to let it stress me out or make me anxious, because now I know that all of the cute little comforts that I had packed, I may or may not be allowed to have. Now, what my husband and I decided is I'm going to pack their cute little 10-item bag. Reminds me of a kid's book of 10 items or less that I used to love to read as a child, but I no longer like the 10 items or less. But it reminds me of that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pack my cute little 10 items in this bag. And then what my husband and I decided is that we're still going to take all of my wants, all of the things that I want to have in the hospital, and we'll have those with us, but they'll stay in his backpack instead of in this duffel bag. We'll just put them in a normal backpack because that's something that people here walk around with all the time. So they're not going to make him get rid of his backpack. And so I will have my 10 approved items. And when we get there, I'll take the 10 approved items out of the backpack, and that's what I will take in to triage. And then he will keep the backpack with him. and it will have all of my extra comforts that hopefully I will still be able to have. And so the thing that the way that it works is that when we get to the hospital, he's allowed to be with me for labor and delivery, but not through triage. So like when I go through triage and they do blood pressure and monitoring and have me change into a gown and things like that, he won't be with me. But once they take me to the delivery ward, then they'll bring him back to be with me throughout labor and delivery, is what we understand. And so that's why we have to have it separate. So I have to be able to take out my 10 approved items and have them with me during triage and with me during that first part. And then when he comes and is with me, hopefully I will then have access to anything else that I want. So here's the 10 approved items. I thought this was hilarious, and I figured you guys would enjoy seeing what Columbia deems essential for giving birth to a child. So they literally, when I went to ask them, I said, do you have a handout of what to bring? And the lady takes out this little piece of cardboard. It was literally like a cardboard flap from a box that had a piece of paper taped to it, written in Sharpie, and then bound with a bunch of a bunch of boxing tape, like clear plastic tape. And she put it on the counter and she goes, you can either take a picture with your phone or write down the things that you're allowed to bring. But remember, do not bring anything else. These are her words. Do not bring anything else. You are not allowed to have anything else. And please don't be like one of those mothers who brings a diaper bag. And I was like, but it's for my baby. Anyway, so these are the 10 things that they told me I was allowed to bring. So I am allowed to have one set of pajamas for me. So I get a pajama. And supposedly that's for afterbirth. So I have my pajamas, one item. I am allowed to bring like maternity underwear, maternity, I guess diapers, I'll call them, or maternity pads, things like that, which we are still actually trying to find. They have been difficult to find here recently, but we're working on that. And then I'm allowed to bring my like kit of personal hygiene. So toothbrush, toothpaste. I'm going to take, I have an inhaler, chapstick. So I actually have 2 little personal hygiene kits, but I'm taking both of them and they're going to fit in my little bag. But personal hygiene. So I get a pajama, my maternity wear, and then my kit for bathing for personal hygiene. And then you have the stuff for baby. And baby's list is a little bit longer than mama's list. So that's all. This is everything that mom is allowed to bring in. That's it. Nothing else. Baby is allowed, or needs, as they say, a blanket. So I'm going to take 1 swaddle. We're trying to find a little bit heavier blanket because they want a blanket, not a swaddle. But we currently don't have a whole lot of blankets because my plan was to swaddle her. And so I'm going to put a swaddle in there because that's what I have for now. But they said they want like an actual blanket for her. So I have 1 blanket. I am allowed to take 1 set of clothing for her. I'm going to take 2 little bodysuits, 1 pair of pants. But I'm also like, normally I would love to take super cutesy outfits, and I have some cutesy outfits that are going to go in the extra bag. But what they told me is it is highly probable that things will get lost, and it's not their fault, so don't take anything that you love. So I'm taking just plain white onesies and a pair of gray pants. But super cute for baby girl. So I get 1 outfit. They told me to bring 3. Yes, 3, not 4. 3 diapers. Now, I'm taking a few extra because I am. But they told me literally the list says 3 diapers. Now, I will say they said don't bring a lot because they'll get stolen. They said that if a nurse sees that I have, and this was words from the, I guess she was more of a security officer at the hospital, but I also heard it from a nurse. Words directly from their mouth was, if you bring a lot of diapers and they see a mom that doesn't have them, they're going to come and they're going to steal them without even asking and take yours and give them to her. Now, I personally don't have a problem with sharing, have no problem with that, but just the, I guess, audacity that what I bring isn't even mine, I don't know. But so I'm taking some diapers because that's what they put on it. I'm taking more than the 3 that they allotted me, but that's what I'm taking. I also get to take a small pack. Yes, it said small small package of wipes. This was the smallest one we could find. So a small package of wipes. And then socks and a hat. So that is literally, these are my 10 items. This is what I get to go into the hospital with. This is what, when we get there, I will take this out of the baggie or out of the backpack, and I can't even take it in this white bag. They said bring it in your own bag, and then you have to transfer it into their clear plastic bag. But this is what they have approved me to take. I can't fathom it, but this is what I get. Now, in addition to my 10 approved items, I am also taking some other items. Oh, I also have to take all of my medical records, because here they're not necessarily computerized. So I've got that set to go with my approved items. But in addition to those approved items, I am taking a few other things. So I have a couple pairs of clothes, the clothes that I want to leave the hospital in, and then just one extra set just in case. I'm not taking a ton of clothing, but that way, if anything happens, I've got 2 sets of clothing. We also don't know if we're going to have to stay. We don't know if it's going to be 1 day, 2 days, and so I have 2 sets of clothing just in case. I also have cutesy clothes for baby girl, so that I have a cute going home outfit and just some cutesy, some little bare feet, a little sleeper with monkeys on it, another hat just in case, and another onesie. So I've got a few more clothes for baby girl that are more cutesy. They're a little bit nicer, and so those are gonna stay with husband while he's waiting for me. I've also got some hygiene items for husband so that he doesn't forget toothbrush, toothpaste, Kleenexes, things like that. I have a pair of flip-flops that I'm taking. So I'll put those in here because I know that at the hospital I don't want to be putting on my shoes and things like that, and so I've got a pair of flip-flops. I'm also taking my iPod. I love listening to music, and that's just something that's calming and relaxing for me, so I'm going to have that with me. I also have a Perry bottle that I purchased, so I don't even know if they exist here or if that's something that they recommend, but I know that this is something that's highly recommended in the States and by all of the mamas that I've talked to. And so I have one of these that I will take with me, but again, I can't have it on me, so I have to leave it in my extra bag. I'm also taking some like medicated pads and things like that. And then I'm taking water, so I'm taking bottled water because I can't necessarily drink the water that they have. And so if they, like last time I was there, they asked me to take a medication, but they tried to give me tap water. And so I need to have bottled water on hand just in case. And then the last thing is I'm taking some snacks because all sorts of mamas recommended to take a few snacks with you. I mean, obviously I won't be able to eat them during labor and delivery necessarily, some nuts, some things like that. But afterwards, that way I will have them. So, I mean, I consider this a very minimalistic hospital bag, but from watching all the videos that I watched, these seem like very recommended items, things that I will probably want to have. We are actually also working on still finding a like hospital gown, so they give me one. That's the one thing that the hospital provides is a hospital gown. But when I was there on the 31st with the contractions, the hospital gown that they put me in is the most indecent gown I have ever been asked to change into. And it was not modest. It did not make me feel comfortable whatsoever. And so we are working on finding one out in the world, of finding one out in a pharmacy that we can purchase and take with us, because I'm not going to want to wear the gown that they're going to want to give me. So that's one thing, we're working on finding that. But I think other than that, honestly, this is pretty much the hospital bag we're taking. It's very minimalistic, very few things, but it has a few extra comforts on top of the 10 items that they allow me to take into the hospital. So I'll try to have pictures. I don't think they'll let us film or do anything like that at the hospital. They seem very opposed to that. but I will try to take at least a few pictures throughout the journey and be able to tell the story after the fact of what my experience was, how things went, what they provided or didn't provide, what they allowed me to have in the end. So if you are curious, because I'm curious, I've never had a child, never had a child in a foreign country, but if you are curious how that goes, go ahead and subscribe to the channel so that when we post that next video, you guys will be able to see it when we post that update on how things went at the hospital. If you like this content, if you want to see more about our lives as a family, as missionaries, we post Bible videos and missionary videos and just our life on the mission field, and now our life as a family on the mission field. So if you like that content, go ahead and subscribe, give this video a like, share it with others, and I can't wait to tell you how things go when we have our sweet baby girl.